From its first appearance in an Olympic Games in 1952 to its final appearance in 1988, the Soviet Union was a dominating force in the international sporting world. In 6 of the 8 Summer Olympics they competed in, the Soviet Union was top of the medal count. Even though the Soviet Union stopped competing in the Olympics in 1992, to this day they only trail the United States for most Olympic medals of all time. Much of the Soviet Union's success can be attributed to the tightly controlled sports programs initiated by the government. The Soviet Union, also known as the USSR, is a collection of 15 Soviet socialist republics, stretching from the Baltic and the Black Seas all the way to the Pacific Ocean. In order to learn more, I went to USA Gymnastics Development Center in Mahwah, New Jersey to interview the head coach, Gennady Shub, former Ukrainian and then the Israel national team coach. Now he has coached over 10 athletes to compete for the US national team and won even at the World Championships.
So far away. I was born in 1947. It was Soviet Union. I moved from Russia in 1990. But I moved from Russia to Israel.
Towards the end of the reign of the Soviet Union, many people are similar to Gennady, had left to find better lives in either America or many of the border socialist states, which were becoming independent republics. In the last few years, it was up to 70,000 people per year. Gennady moved from Israel in 1990, just before the dissolution of the USSR in 91. He then moved to New Jersey in 1999, where he currently resides. Many children of the time period do not feel that the Soviet Union and a heavy communist government had much of an effect on their upbringing. Although he is very anti-government, growing up middle class did not seem to have a major effect on his childhood.
Like all child, child who born after Second War. It was not for me. It was like all child and all in not only in Russia. It was like in United States same, and all kids feel same. I don't think something unusual for when I was little kid. No pressure from government. No. I play game like all people, all kids.
Mikhail Gorbachev is the 8th leader of the Soviet Union. His reign, beginning in 1988, lasted about 10 years, and in those 10 years he did so much for the country. However, Gorbachev did so much for the country in a negative fashion. After the end of the Cold War, the Soviet Union, depleted and weak, tried to copy the US's massive spending spree, pouring billions of dollars into the military. This ultimately created a massive hole that socialism could not fix. Along with this, Gorbachev made so many promises about strong military presence and powerful economic security, yet did not follow through with any of it.
Very weak leader. Very weak leader. Mostly blah blah blah. He did nothing for Soviet Union. Nothing.
On the other hand, many foreign countries seem to idolize Ronald Reagan's go-get-em personality. Being the dramatic public speaker he was able to convince not only our nation, but convince many other foreign nations that his neoconservative methods were the keys to a healthy country. While the Soviets and the US were building good relations, many of the Soviet states associated with the Soviet Union began declaring independence and modeling a government similar to the conservative capitalism that the US utilized. Gennady, being from a poor government that was with the Soviet Union, envied our president for his initiative and actions in strengthening our government.
You can compare the Reagan and Gorbachev. You can. It is different people. Much better, strong leader. I like him. He was twice president of the United States. felt it was very big drama for million and million people. It is because I was born in Soviet Union as small child. I was educated on everything about Soviet Union. Too difficult to explain because really it was not so easy time to. I left Soviet Union because my job. Because my job. Because I did not see future for my job. Because I worked as gymnastic coach, it was problem with money, with the job, and people and children. They was not ready put the pressure for sport because it was very bad time for living. And so I think more about my job than about what happened in Soviet Union because I did not see future.
The dissolution affected many people worldwide because it created a giant open playing field in most of Europe and Asia. Being that this ginormous empire has fallen, for many immigrants from the Soviet Union, it was difficult to transition into a life with a new government because the economy was broke and essentially the government was non-existent. For someone like Gennady, it happened to be much easier because within his line of work, he holds a unique skill set that is valuable anywhere in the world. However, being a native Ukrainian, he still faces challenges in the United States. For example, the clear language and cultural differences, as well as discrimination against those who supported the communist government. Ultimately, the fall of the USSR brought the US one step closer to its ultimate goal of suppressing communism around the world, and greatly improved the relationship between the Russian Republic and the United States as they continue to fight against terrorism in the Middle East and other global issues within Europe.
I did not catch one word. How I explain?
When were you born?
Born?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so far away.
Government.
About what?
Gorbachev, president, and government.
About God?